Wednesday, September 16th edition of News in Depth. First up, wife seeking justice for murdered husband. Here is that story. The wife of the late John Yap is heartbroken following his sudden demise. According to the woman, Manisha Tranjalal, her husband and the suspect were involved in a confrontation a week ago when he was wounded by the suspect. The fisherman was stabbed to death on Monday evening by a man who lives in the same street.
The boy went in picking go and stab up he. And when girl passed, now when the girl called for me and tell me say how let me go see how my husband bleed out. When my Russian come now, me can make him forgo. When they come, the car don't care what he done already. And the boy went in picking now. My boy up he passed it on the street and tell us say picking so we do that fast. Say I lie. Friend, he say how Dana done it and skin full of pure blood. He say how he don't kill and done already. And he get one big knife in his hand. He get the bad habit, he just drink and smoke, but he don't make interfere with nobody. If me, he get a mouth attack, me, he alone nobody else.
The family is calling for justice and wants the police to do a thorough probe into the matter.
Yeah, me want justice, yes, because he can't get off like that, take innocent life. So what got to happen, got to happen.
The woman said it is financially difficult for the family at this time to bury the dead and they're appealing for help.
I don't know if I go because my mommy passed away and I'm going to stay back down here, so I don't know if I go. Some need a shelter too.
Persons desirous to help can call telephone numbers 649-9102 or 617-9682. Melissa Khan, using Deb. More news after this break.
Shh. It's your new secret. The all-in-one weapon for perfecting imperfections and capturing flawless skin. A lot of brands forget women of color or just don't understand that we come in all shades. From caramel to ebony, there's such a range. Iman Cosmetics is for every woman and features a line of skincare products and cosmetics including 16 foundation shades, powder, concealer, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, highlighter and BB cream. Visit us at Lot 75 Swamp Section, Rosal Town. That's behind the market. Or call 337-4422 or 688-9249. Shh.
Welcome back. Family lashes out at private hospital after oxygen allegedly ran out while transporting a patient who later died. More in this report.
Family members of Benji Men, a Irish quarantine businessman, are asking questions about a private hospital and blaming them for his unexpected demise. Benji Men collided with a motorcycle on the quarantine public road during one of his usual early morning training sessions. Quarantine sister Nadine Wilson-Wilberg suffered head injuries in the accident, which took place at Hampshire on the 14th of August.
So when I went there, he was in the house sitting with pain. He could hardly lift the right shoulder. He was like, I said, what happened? And then he started telling me what happened. Say he was going up the road to train, and a motorbike was in front of him, and a hire car dashed in front of the motorcycle. And he was trying to save the motorcycle from getting the collision, and the bicycle handle hook. And he pitched. The helmet even break. And he said after then he didn't know anything. And the police, them that took the body, could have go straight to the hospital. They took him to Rosal Outpost. He said when he catch himself, he was at the outpost. And when they finished taking the statement and whatever, he said I asked him if he want to go to the hospital. He said no. He didn't know who was the car driver, neither the motorbike guy that they had at the station with him. He said he could remember the color of the car, and like 1 or 2 number on the number plate. But they didn't know exactly who was the driver. So he said the police was going to charge the motorbike, and he tell them no, don't charge the guy, he's not the person who caused the accident, it's the car.
She said he refused to get a second opinion on the injuries he sustained.
My sister even tell him to come to Georgetown and he could get a second opinion. He didn't do that. My sister in New York called him and tell him he could go back home and get a thorough check. He didn't do that.
After the pain became more severe, he decided to seek further medical attention and was admitted to the hospital. She said while her brother was being transported to the city by the private hospital's ambulance, she observed the ambulance make a sudden turn.
Big sister was in the ambulance, and we see them make a sudden swing. We want to know what's going on. So we swing back also. So when we reach at Anamaya, when we ask them what happened, they said they run out of oxygen. Tell me, if you go in with a patient, your cylinder got to be filled. They turn back the car, the ambulance, and they go back into the compound. They wheel out the body from out of the ambulance straight back into the emergency area. When they went in there, they didn't even allow no family to get in to see what they're doing. They take $253,000 from yesterday morning to that time when I went there yesterday midday. I paid that money. And when they return the ambulance back to Hanamaya, they take $37,000 more. They say because of the little medication that they had to use there. And Sunday night, they take $44,000. In all, it's $330-something thousand. It didn't reach 24 hours.
She said he was a life wire to the family.
Out of my mother 9 children, he's the one, is a live wire in the family, you gotta see. Sometimes when he come, he just makes a rough joke. He calling, Cousin Irene. Sometimes mommy just say, is who calling you, go and see you anything. She just blasted by. That is the kind of person, you know. Always like to imitate and make rough jokes. Really rough.
The father of 5 migrated and lived in Canada for some time before returning to Guyana and opening Benji Men Sports and Fitness Center. Benji Men was active in the local cycling fraternity, both as a rider and a promoter. The police investigations into the matter are ongoing.
Shh. It's your new secret. The all-in-one weapon for perfecting imperfections and capturing flawless skin. A lot of brands forget women of color or just don't understand that we come in all shades. From caramel to ebony, there's such a range. Iman Cosmetics is for every woman and features a line of skincare products and cosmetics including 16 foundation shades, powder, concealer, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, highlighter, and BB cream. Visit us at Lot 75 Swamp Section, Rosal Town. That's behind the market. Or call 337-4422 or 688-9249. Shh.
Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly and the leader of the Liberty and Justice Party, Lennox Schumann, said he does not see anything wrong with Guyana supporting calls for the restoration of democracy in Venezuela. Schumann was speaking to reporters at the Otachung Conference Center this afternoon. His comments were made on the heels of the visit of U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Many believe that Pompeo's visit is to get Guyana's support as the U.S. continues to push for regime change in Venezuela.
I've supported, and as Ambassador Lynch would have said, is that we signed on to promote democratic norms across the region. And if the democracy does not exist in a state within which we are geographically located, it is only right that we support a return to democracy. Whether it comes under regime change, however you call it, right? Regime change comes in a variety of ways. Part of that is through the exercise of our franchise. Or you could deal in some cases, in some worst case situations where they actually get into armed conflicts. I don't support armed intervention in any country. I think that there are peaceful ways and peaceful means to go about things, and we have to do with exhaustive diplomacy to addressing the deficiencies in democracies.
Schumann is hoping at the end of the Secretary of State's 2-day visit, the Guyanese people will be briefed on the matters discussed.
We have so many of our people living in the U.S. and we don't come under that barrage of attacks for when we go there. The majority of this economy was actually alive because of the remittance from the U.S. So it is only fair that we welcome the partners that have taken care of our people, whether they're in the U.S., Canada, the UK, or wherever. The fact that they have supported our drive for democracy or the restoration of democratic norms in Guyana, I find it's a welcomed approach. In terms of their foreign policy, I will leave that to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the people who are privy to some of those closed doors discussions. But I hope that at the end of that the government comes back and briefs the people and say, look, Guyanese, these are the things that we discussed that will benefit Guyana or will not benefit Guyana, and these are the decisions that we are taking to ensure that we don't end up in A, failed state, nor B, conflict with Venezuela.
While Schuman is in agreement with the government, the main opposition APNU AFC called on the PPP government to come clean with the Guyanese people on the nature of the visit, while the Guyana Human Rights Association cautioned the Guyanese government to stay out of Venezuela's internal politics.
And that has brought us to the end of our news for tonight. For these and other stories, visit our website at rdproductiongy.com or our Facebook and Instagram page at Royce and Tricks Production. On behalf of our news team, thank you for joining us and join us again tomorrow for more news. Good night.